What's going on, guys? So today I want to talk about the possibility of Hollywood finally being on the precipice, on the cusp of actually making a proper live action adaptation of an anime series that it owns the rights to. And right away, I know someone's being a smart ass down in the comment section saying, Kryptonian saying, get out your head, that's never gonna happen. Have you not seen Dragon Ball Evolution? Have you not seen Ghost in Shell? Those movies were absolutely horrible. It cannot be done. And I tell you to pump the brakes for a second. A lot of the worries and complaints that people have about anime movies being done on the big screen are the same things that were being said in the 90s. People looked at the Michael Keaton Batman films and the Christopher Reeve Superman films as being anomalies because after those movies came out, Hollywood never got a live action comic book film done correctly. And yet when you fast forward 20 years, they're all the rage now. You see comic book properties on the small screen, on your streaming services. You see them all over the movie theaters, and it's because Hollywood's finally figured it out. We've come a long way from the days of Batman and Robin, where you had George Clooney as Batman, where you had Arnold Schwarzenegger as Mr. Freeze with that god-awful accent playing the character. We've come a long way from Constantine Films making the original Fantastic Four movie, not the one that most of us are familiar with, where you had Chris Evans being Johnny Storm and you had Jessica Alba being Sue Storm, but the original Constantine Films story, which is completely different. The same thing can be said about the Punisher movies and the Captain America movies, the ones that weren't done by Marvel and Disney. And I think that it's really important to kind of point that out because Hollywood eventually figured it out. Spider-Man 1 came out and people said, okay, this is interesting. Spider-Man 2 and the X-Men movie came out and people really started paying attention and trying to duplicate the success. And when you look at the hiccups that we've had with the anime movies, one thing that immediately stands out is the fact that we have not had people who are very passionate about the product, who are fans of the concept of everything that's happening for these properties. And with Ghost in Shell, it is worth noting that they had an understanding of the source material, and yet the passion was not in that product. And the reason why I point that out is when you look at Star Wars, when you look at the Marvel movies, Kevin Feige is really passionate about those Marvel properties. Kathleen Kennedy is really passionate about Star Wars, and you've seen it in the quality of the films. And I think if you take a similar approach to that when it comes to the anime films, it can be done correctly. And I would like to just point this out to you guys. It is possible to tell an anime story. You don't have to worry about adapting the first two arcs of a story and saying it's too big, you can't capture every single moment on the film. You're absolutely right. In the comic book films, they don't do that. When you look at the Star Wars films, when you look at the novels for those movies, it doesn't capture everything that happens in the original screenplay. That's why they release the novels. Things are cut out, so things will be left on the cutting room floor, but the core essence of what makes those arcs so beautiful, and each movie is an arc, what makes them so beautiful is still kept in. And so when you look at Warner Brothers, they have the rights to Bleach. A Bleach story could be told correctly from the moment that Ichigo meets Rukia to the end of the Soul Society arc. You could get that done in 90 to 100 minutes for a film, which would be an hour and a half or a little over an hour and a half. When you look at Dragon Ball, you could have the Pilaf saga and the Red Ribbon Army saga told, or the full Saiyan saga told, because Toei Animation, they've already done that with Dragon Ball Path to Power, where they combined the first arc of Dragon Ball and the Red Ribbon Army arc, and they told the story of Dragon Ball in a way where if you know nothing about the series, you could watch that film, get curious, and then go check out the original source material. With Naruto, you could have the first chapter of Naruto all the way to the Land of Waves arc be done, and be done in a way that where it grips the fans and also hooks in new viewers and new fans of the properties. This is not impossible to get done. The same thing with One Piece, where you could tell the East Blue saga without actually cutting out too much material. You can go through and have Luffy round up his crew and meet his crewmates. It is possible. Let me know what you guys think. Are you excited about the possibility of Hollywood finally getting this right? And if you were overseeing an anime movie, what franchise would you do and how would you go about trying to create the movie? But as always, guys, if you like anything I had to say, don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, and share. Thank you so much for watching the end of the video, guys. Have an awesome day.